Hey, fellow traveler and viewer, welcome to Timeless Tarot, where we do tarot card readings that are, you guessed it, timeless. We got our first card here. We will draw 3 cards. Those will be hidden cards, mysterious cards that will be drawn at the end of each reading. So this will be for reading number 1, this will be for reading number 2, and this will be the mystery card for reading number 3. Okay. Now, before we draw the rest, please keep in mind that these are broad readings, so take what you want with you on your journey, and if anything does not resonate, let it float on by. Okay, great. This is a bit of a shaky start to today's reading. Apologies. We'll draw 3 more cards now, and these will represent the card for each reading. Okay, so for reading number 1, we have Page of Cups. It's kind of interesting. A little flying pig. Can you see that? There he is. Yeah. Okay. When pigs fly, huh? For reading number 2, we have Judgment. It's beautiful. Beautiful spirit there. And for reading number 3, we have Temperance. Okay. So, feel free to choose your reading based on how you resonate with each card. You are free to watch one or all the readings. The choice to explore is always up to you. All of these readings are based on the symbols, and you always have free will. Remember that. Okay. Great, that being said, let's start with group number 1. Hey, group number 1, you chose Page of Cups with that little flying pig. You know, this one, that's an interesting drawing. It kind of reminds me, kind of keep one foot on the ground. Sometimes might be a good idea. Don't get too lost in the clouds sometimes, I guess is the reminder with Page of Cups. But Page of Cups is a fun card, playful card. It's willing to joke around, willing to make some people laugh. That's the Page of Cups. Has a couple jokes, has a couple good ones. Okay. So, group number 1, what's on the mind right now? Okay, well, it looks like there might be a lot on the mind, but we're going to try to trim it down to 5 cards. There we go. Ooh, a lot is on the mind for you, isn't there? What's on your mind, group number 1? What is on your mind? Well, let's see currently. Currently we have the card of Strength. Strength is on the mind, so you are making choices based on really resilience. You're choosing in the face of challenge to really go, hey, you know what? I could take a break right now, but I'm going to keep going. That's the kind of mental energy that you have right now. You're willing to say, hey, I'm feeling like I don't want to do this, so I'm going to push into that. I'm going to lean against that, and I'm going to go for it. I'm going to continue to work even when I feel a little bit let down, a little bit deflated. And this comes from knowing when to put your energy, where to put your energy. The King of Pentacles, mindfulness of where your energy goes, where your energy flows, especially in this plane, your attention and effort. Okay. Finally, this came from movement. There was some kind of moving energy in the past that led you to realize you need to take real ownership over the way your energy flows. This ownership could come from having been perhaps not quite as serious about it in the past. But now you're putting in the effort. You're putting in hard work. You really are. Because we have the 10 of Wands, kind of the culmination of a lot of action taking place, decisions being made, action being taken. In this case, you're deciding upon where you're going to finalize your action, where you're going to I feel like there's almost a culmination here, where there's this almost like ending point coming soon for something that you're working towards, and this is where you decide where it goes. And finally, we have the Page of Pentacles. Interesting how we have the King moving into the Page. So the Page is someone who's learned new ways. There are new forms of managing or developing one's energy, developing one's resources. This is the kind of page where they've learned something pretty important, and now they have to think through. They have to think through what it is that they're going to do with this new information. This could be a new savings account. This could be realizing you're spending too much time on a computer or like on your phone kind of thing. And now you realize you have to make some changes, and that's what you're going to be doing in the future for the benefit of yourself, really. This is fine-tuning something in your life that's important. Okay. So that was on the mind, but what's in the realm of the world, the physical plane? Where are you in the physical plane? Well, you certainly are going through a lot. You've probably gone through quite a lot of different things. There's ideas have changed. There's a lot of perspectives on the world. You're kind of clamping shut on a very specific chapter in your life, and now you're looking forward to some more Ten of Wands energy. This is a movement upwards towards a Ten of Wands where you're taking action rather than thinking through things. You're no longer thinking through things, and now you're moving forward into action. Yeah, there was a lot of pain in the past, a lot of sleepless nights, but this is a path of healing. You wanted healing, so you're moving forward with it. You are going through that painful process of transformation. And look what just comes out on the other end. From the King of Pentacles in the mind downwards into the King of Swords, making the right choices based on logic, based on reason, based on just having an understanding of a fully understanding a situation and having the rational, deliberate thought process when you make decisions. Which leads you to having some good times ahead. Because look at this, you have the Page of Cups and the Page of Cups. So we're kind of balancing this out. This is kind of like maybe you weren't taking things quite as seriously in the past, but then you've begun to really realize you need to heal from it. You did the painful process of healing, and now you're in a strong, steady position, or you're moving into a strong, steady position, one filled with the ability to really take hold of what it is that you need to accomplish and to move in that path, in that direction. And that's going to give you a little bit of time to be a little joyful, a little playful in the future, where you actually can take a moment to relax and actually just have a little bit of a good time. But this time it's a more mature, a more kind of steady, 1 foot on the ground instead of 2 feet in the air kind of Page of Cups. Okay? So when you're playing and you're taking things seriously, but you're also giving yourself moments of joy. Okay, so how does that make you feel within? Well, you're proud of the process that you've been putting yourself through. This takes a lot of mental energy. You're really going through this transformation, and you should be proud of it. I mean, you know, sometimes pride can get in the way, but in this case, pride isn't necessarily extra. You're proud of what you're doing because you know it's the right thing. Yeah, there was some heartbreak in the past. There was some pain in the past, lover's heartbreak in the past. You were trying to heal, perhaps, from a relationship that wasn't working, and now you realize you have to make the hard choices and choose the direction you need to go in. You might want to hold on to what was once in the past, but you know, being the strong leader of the King of Swords that you are, that it's best to, spend time with friends and enjoy the time with friends more so than going back and trying to cling to something that you know is not right in this time. Okay. Can you see all these cards? Good. All right. So what was this mystery card? What was the mystery card underneath the Page of Cups? Hopefully it will provide some clarity for this reading. This seems like one where a lot's on the mind. A lot is being done. You've taken hold of your path, and you really are dedicating yourself to it. But there is this kind of lost love in the past. So what's going on there? Maybe there's some clarity with this card. We have the Knight of Cups. Well, look at that. Look at this guy. Who's this? Who's the Knight of Cups? Some kind of maybe moving from the Page of Cups to something more mature. Someone who will bring flowers every once in a while. All right. Maybe this is the important step, huh? I don't know. Up to you. What do you see in this transformation of yours? Where are you transforming? I would love to hear it. It could be in and where you put your energy and where you put your finances, but it could also really be where you put your love. And that's something that's really important too. Your life force, your energy, your time and attention and focus and care is just as important, and that's something that could be on the mind here. And making those good decisions based on logic and reason is absolutely important moving forward. But there's joy coming in. There's joy coming in, and there's really a moment to really praise, like to really sing. Yeah, I want to say like there's people are gonna be singing together. I don't know why, but that's what popped in my head. So I mean, I guess we have the Three of Cups. It looks like almost like they're singing in some ways. But yeah, so this has been your reading, group number 1. If you enjoyed it, please leave a comment or subscribe to the channel. Even sharing this video would be greatly appreciated. And with that, I will say take care. Goodbye. Hey, group number 2, you chose Judgment. You chose the Judgment card alongside the mysterious card that's underneath the Judgment card, which will be revealed at the end of the reading. Okay. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing well. We're going to draw 5 cards in the mind, the plane of the mind, the plane of thought. And it looks like we got a couple more, so we'll draw those too. Okay. So, group number 2, what's on the mind? Well, we have, transformations on the mind, that's for sure. We have the Death card. You were feeling trapped in the past. 8 of Swords, perhaps you're freeing yourself from these binds and transforming. Ace of Pentacles pops out here a lot. There's a sense that there's a new form of making material wealth or a new form of energy, a way of producing new energy. But now you feel trapped in that. But now we have this like Death card, which is on the mind, and it leads to a refreshing new beginning. Here we have an emotional new beginning because we have the Ace of Cups. Look at these aces up here, which leads to moving on. We have the 8 of Cups. Ace of Cups into 8 of Cups, moving on from a situation. You've accomplished quite a bit, but now it's time to continue onward. Okay, group number 2. What were these 2 cards? Oh, quite a lot of things happening here. We have the Empress and 10 of Cups. Is this what you want to become? Maybe you want to become like a family, like have a family? Something like that, transforming from the individual self into a family-oriented person, being. I'm going to put those 2 here. Okay. That's what it feels right. This is what you want to become. You're transforming into it right now. Or you want to re-embody it. That might be another way of putting it. Okay. Looks like you're almost like kind of looking for that dancer in you, that person who can sing, who can create, who can nurture. Okay. So, in the material plane, group number 2, we have a lot of choices. 7 of Cups. Be true to yourself. You know, if it's a specific thing that you're like seeking out, go for it. That's important. You've been intuitive when it comes to this feeling here. Like there was something new that was really great, and it's really bringing in a transformation within you. Because we have the Sun and the Ace of Pentacles leading to the Queen of Swords. Then we have all these choices with the 7 of Cups, but then that diagonally leads up to the 1 Ace of Cups, which leads to both moving on, but also like this 10 of Cups Empress energy, which kind of is a side note, but feels really right to be there. And then we have the 10 of Pentacles. So both of the stability and the emotional joy of a stable home, of a happy home. A happy home is a better way of putting it. A really happy home is the diagonal we're working towards. And not surprising to see this guy come up again, we have the King of Pentacles. So the King of Pentacles is knowing where to put your resources, knowing how to manage one's resources. Very important aspect to having this kind of family-oriented lifestyle, like having a home. You know, I'm sure many of you know about dealing with, well, I deal with rent, but, you know, owning a home and all sorts of stuff like that. owning a car, insurance, everything like that. That requires the King of Pentacles energy here. That's really important. Yeah. Okay. So, how does this make you all feel? We got two cards here. So put this one here, this over here. Actually, we should swap them. Because the top one, there we go. Much better. Great. So, currently we have Emperor energy, Emperor and Empress energy balanced. You know, you need this kind of charismatic leadership role, or maybe not just charismatic, but commanding leadership role that will allow you to garner the resources required to create a stable environment. Being at the center of one's wheel allows one to be grounded and able to move in the right direction when the winds of the world change direction. The winds of the world change direction. So the Wheel of Fortune leading into the Emperor. And like, look at this. This is a lot of pride here. Pride that you're putting in effort, that good things were happening in the past. This is leading you to realize that you want these good things to continue, and you're going to work in this transformation way to create an environment where they can continue. Look at this. The Queen and the King of Pentacles are together. That's fascinating. And we have the Ten of Pentacles. This is a lot of Pentacles energy. A lot of resource allocation, knowing where to put your finances, knowing where to put, health insurance, car insurance, everything. All of that together. Mortgage, everything that's involved with having a home and really building it out. And being mindful of, being gratitude, of practicing gratitude, because we have Four of Cups here, the meditation card. So realizing that these things are pairing together now. There's this pairing together of the King and the Queen here. Very cool. What's this card? Oh, we have a Queen of Cups too. Okay, interesting. So the Queen of Cups could have been here, but the Queen of Cups is on the side. So perhaps the nurturing of one's emotional well-being is tied with the Four of Cups. You can do that through meditation. And that's a very important way of doing that. You can meditate, or you can pray, or you can just practice gratitude in order to, when the winds of the world want to sway your emotional well-being, you are grounded and centered, and you're capable of taking on all of these projects that simultaneously in order to produce the world that you're looking for. So we have this mystery card here that should help clarify a little bit of this reading. And what we have here is, well, another Ten of Cups. Look at that. Look at this. Wow. Okay. A lot of joy is coming in the future. A lot of joy. That's cool. We have two Ten of Cups. All right. Well, this transformation is pretty profound. Group number 2. You are doing so much and handling so much. I want to say you're juggling a lot of things, and you're breaking free of those things that you felt like you were locked into, and now you have this new emotional beginning. But there's this pairing of the King and Queens. There's this real strong energy coming forth. You have the Empress and Emperor. You have both King and Queen of Pentacles, and you have the Queens of Swords and Cups that are kind of nurturing this environment forward towards one of Ten of Pentacles, Ten of Cups. Beautiful, and rebalancing really is coming in too, I want to say. Beautiful, and I hope the best for you. Group number 2, please leave us a comment to let us know what it is that you're building. What world are you creating for yourself and others? Love to hear it. All right, take care. Bye. Hey, group number 3, welcome to your reading. You chose Temperance and the mystery card underneath Temperance, which will be revealed at the end of the reading. I hope you're doing well today, group number 3. We're going to draw a couple cards to begin with to discuss what's on the mind, what's in thought. The thinking aspect of this story through the symbols. What do we have? It looks like we have one extra card. We can draw that, right? Okay. So, group number 3, what's on the mind? How are you doing? Let's see, what do we have? Well, there was quite a shock recently. Quite a shock. You were pretty joyful. You were kind of maybe going a little bit out of your comfort zone in the past. There was a rebalancing recently. A rebalancing of where one's time and effort needs to go, where your emotional place is. You might have been very emotionally, I would say imbalanced, and now we're reaching a balance, but now we have a shock. And what's that going to lead us to? Well, getting a little defensive, kind of standing your ground in a way, almost Seven of Wands kind of way. But we have the Knight of Pentacles, so it's more protective in nature. We got two knights here. We have the Knight of Pentacles and the Knight of Wands. So you'll stand your ground at first, and then you'll move forward swiftly. What is this card here? Yeah, this might have been a disappointment, something that was, not expected, not really welcome. But, in these circumstances, there are silver linings here. Whatever it is that happened, there's still the castle in the distance that can be reached. So we're working towards it. It's just this shock here. What is this shock? It shocked your mind more than anything else. So we'll see. And this has already happened. What is this shock? Group number 3. Well, these two cards also want to come out, so we'll put them here. Okay. Currently, you in the physical plane are making choices based on intuition, and they're good choices because you have the Queen of Swords. In the past, the Page of Cups, there was some joyful energy moving forward, but now you're getting a little more serious. And we had the Page of Wands as well. Interesting. So we're going from Page of Wands to the end in the mind, Knight of Wands. So there's some growth here, some real maturity. And you had growth there, right? And we have the Seven of Pentacles, the growing towards a goal, towards a vision, seeing this. You've sown your seeds, and now you're kind of watching them grow, right? You're seeing the progress happen. And that's going to lead you to being a little bit thoughtful. You might want to see group number 1 because this kind of showed up in the same position almost. And who are these? Okay, so we have some thought of resources, thought of money, and reminiscing, kind of thinking through what happened is happening here. Okay. Well, let's think about this for a second. Pages in the realm of the physical. So news was coming in. Good news, not great news. In your mind, you saw a future of really great news. There were some actions that you took that really worked towards this feeling of, hey, things are on the up and up. You were rebalancing, you were putting your effort into things that you felt really were more appropriate for what you were trying to accomplish. And then we have this shock that kind of sobers you up and goes, whoa, this is a pretty serious situation. A lot can happen. There's a little bit of chaos here. This adds a little bit of wisdom to your life now, a little bit more maturity, because we're moving from pages up into the mind of knights. We still have one other page here. It's interesting. We have almost all the pages in the physical plane. So news of resources coming in could potentially be positive. But also remember that news of resources are something that you need to keep in mind. Like, this is something you need to be paying attention to, is your resources. You're very defensive in the mind of your resources, and you're going to be taking actions slowly and deliberately. Now, pages can sometimes be fits and starts, but Page of Pentacles is more of the slow mover, the slow moving news, the slow moving information that you can then incorporate into the world. Okay. We dove a little bit deeper into there. Now let's see how you feel on the inside. How does this make you feel? What is the unconscious or the unknown, non-physical plane going to? How's that interacting with the rest of the story here, the symbols? We have the Tower being clarified by the Queen of Swords being clarified by choices. Well, it's always interesting to see the Two of Pentacles tied in with the Sword card, especially Queen or King, because you have this balance. You do have Judgment here, balancing two choices and picking the correct one. Yeah, there's a lot of joy in the past, a lot of real, you really accomplished something. There was a really big accomplishment in the recent past. It came from a lot of action, a lot of decisions being made, a lot of action taking place, coming from a nurturing charisma to take action. Because we have the Queen of Wands with the Page of Wands, with judgment in the mind. So good choices got to good outcomes. But there was a shock. And now your emotional state of being is going to want to move towards a new realm, a new state of being. One where you're even more charismatic. Look at these bookends here. We have the Queen of Wands moving in to the King of Wands. This is just growth. This is just strong growth from having received or understood something new. You were shocked by something different. It's led to a position where you're going to want to be more perhaps deliberate and architectural, very putting things into regimented places, make sense of it all. Rather than nurture more and more, you're going to want to narrow down, focus, and actually put things into categories. Categorize what it is that you need to do, because this shock kind of made you realize you need to take a more systematic approach to what it is that you're trying to accomplish. Okay. So, with all that being said, we still have the mystery card, but I want to draw a couple more cards for you guys. Let's draw a few more cards. Just draw a couple more. All right, we'll draw 3. So we have 6 of Cups. So a happy moment here. Then the 5 of Cups. Okay, so we have more 5 of Cups energy here. There is some disappointment, but there's still more to be done. There's still more that you can do. Remember, there's the castle in the distance. Okay. And finally we have Ace of Swords. So a new idea is coming forth with this. Here, we'll put them in order. With this movement, this Queen of Swords energy moving into Ace of Swords, a new idea that's going to be more defensive in posture. Like I said, categorizing, putting things into easier, actually it's one of those things where if you have a really big thing you need to accomplish, one of the best things you can possibly do is break it down into smaller tasks and think about how can this be broken down into even smaller tasks until you reach a point where it's just step by step. What is the first thing to be done? And then what's the second thing to be done? And then what's the third? And then you move with the little things. If you can break it down into smaller and smaller steps, those steps become more and more achievable. And then it becomes just a matter of following the breadcrumbs, following the footsteps, following each step that needs to be taken, going up that ladder, one step at a time, going up the stairs. We'll say stairs, right? One step at a time. There we go. Moving up and up and up deliberately and categorically. All right. Cool. So what is this card? We have one more card to draw. Or to reveal, at least. It's been drawn already, but we're revealing it now. It is Death and Rebirth. Wow. So this is a real, transformation for you. This shock is actually bringing forth, you were putting in a lot of good effort. A lot of good things were happening, but now you're moving towards really being more serious about looking at the numbers, looking at the actual categories of each aspect of the self that you need to work on. So this is one of those things where it's not fun, but you might want to start writing down exactly step by step what it is you need to do. You also might want to separate these to-do lists based on not just like everything you need to do, but based on, oh, this is finances, this is work, this is these are personal projects, these are just regular day-to-day to-dos. Like, have like a couple different lists at this point and separate them out according to their categories. That might be an aspect of this movement forward, because this is one of those times where you're moving from nurturing real ambition to really driving it forward. And that's going to take a little bit more regimented, systematic thinking. Okay, group number one. This has been, group number one. Group number three. This has been your reading. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a comment or share this video with others. Love to hear. If you did, let us know. All right. Thank you. Take care.